Hi everybody. I wanted to start this video off by saying that I hope this period of social isolation is treating you well, and if you are an essential worker, I want to thank you for everything that you're doing for your community. I hope this video can serve as kind of a pleasant distraction from the world at large, because we're just going to be chit-chatting about some makeup and beauty products that I've been loving this past month while I've been working from home. So we'll start off with the makeup. There is a theme here. I dove headfirst into the cream cheek products this month. I'd already been on the train for a while, but I'd mostly been using the same products over and over again. But this month, I finally pulled the trigger on a couple of products that I've been lemming over for what feels like forever. The first is the Glossier Cloud Paints. Don't look at me like that. I'm a Canadian and I hate shopping off of American brand websites. Between the conversion rates, the shipping, and the customs and duty fees later on, it's just not been a pleasant experience that I ever want to repeat, frankly. But my sister had given me the shade Haze around Christmas time, and I really liked it. I just didn't find that it paired with, absolutely everything. It's a really good, fall winter shade, but I wanted something a bit more maybe for spring, summer, since that's when I like to wear a lot of cream cheek products. Plus, I'd heard from so many people that they liked to mix their own shades. That appealed to me. So I ended up getting these shades Puff and Dusk, so that is the pink and the nude, from a kind friend of mine who had ordered doubles, and I ended up just buying them off of her untouched. All to say that they are quite nice. They're more pigment than they are dew or sheen, and they're not moussey at all. They're a true liquid blush. They sheer out really easily, and they're easy to apply with anything. Beauty blender, fingers, duo fiber brush, dense brush, eyeshadow brush. I probably dot this on my cheeks and smack my head against the wall a couple times, and that would do the trick. They don't make your foundation lift, which is paramount in my cream blush hierarchy of needs. And they apply gorgeously on top of bare skin as well. I can't fault these. They even stay on my cheeks all day, which is impressive considering the amount of midday naps that I take. Social isolation has me regressing back into a toddler. I want snacks, and I want naps, and I want shiny things, and that's it. Next, I have the NUDESTIX Magnetic Lip Plush Paint in the shade Bahama Mama. This is quite different from the Glossier Cloud Paints. It's a lot lighter in texture. Well, it's basically pure dimethicone with some pigment thrown in. As you can see, it blends out really easily. This actually makes it somewhat of a lucid nightmare to wear on the lips. It feels like nothing, but it actually just emphasizes every line and flake on your lips. It's like Schrodinger's lip color. However, on the face, it is gorgeous. Blends out in a millisecond, but it doesn't blow out too far, never gets patchy, and again, it doesn't lift up your foundation. So very light texture, medium pigment load, and it feels like a liquid, but it actually blends out more like a mousse. It's like a cross between the Glossier and the Incredible Cheek Pots, the For the First Time Bounce Cream blushes, I think they're called. If you've tried those, they're basically like a pure mousse product. So it's like if those two, got married, moved to the suburbs, and had a little wunderkind that just had both of their best traits. If you think I am done with cream blush, I am not. I will never stop. I'll stop in a minute. But first, I have to talk about the Kosas Color and Light Cream Duo in the shade 8th Muse. Mine looks a little questionable because I've just been dunking my beauty blender right up in there, but this is a true cream formula. It's got a decent amount of substance and pigment to it while still remaining buildable and not feeling sticky. The formula has some healthy carrier oils in it like jojoba, rosehip, and apricot kernel seed oil that help keep the texture consistent throughout the day without melting your base. I've tried some cream formulas that similarly have a lot of carrier oils to them, and they swatch like heaven, and you think, okay, I'm gonna be a model. And then you actually put them on, and you've got this blush-shaped hole in your foundation, and you're actually just like... This blush manages to be right at that sweet spot of effortlessness, aesthetic, functionality, and decent wear time. And while I bought this duo for just the blush, this highlight I actually really love. High points, it comes off as this glossy, pearly pink, and it's so pretty. I just want to bathe in it. The last cream cheek product I want to talk about isn't a blush, but a contour. I feel like this is either a love it or hate it kind of product. It is the Fenty Match Stix in the shade Amber. I usually just use a small fluffy concealer brush with it and just go in and chisel the bejesus out of my face on days where I want to go a bit more full glam. I did buy this a while ago, closer to when the brand launched, I think, so it is getting pretty old. But I was on a call with Fenty's pro artist Hector 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he used the matchsticks to contour in a lot of ways that I hadn't tried on myself before, like things I had tried on clients, like the eye lift or the nose contour, stuff like that. And then I went and tried them on myself later that day, and I really loved it. I was pretty much floored by how it looked. I seriously kept like going downstairs and catching a glimpse of myself in the mirror and being like, who's that bitch? Can I have his number? Okay, I'm done with cheek products. Now I have 2 different lip products to talk about. The first is the Wet Lip Oil from Kosas. I have the shade Jellyfish, which goes on as a clear gloss that just kind of evens out your lip tone a little bit. And I have the shade Jaws, which is just a really nice sheer red. I like that there's no pink to this color at all. This is what I'm wearing right now. Because a lot of sheer red lip products, I've just been searching for the perfect one for what feels like ages, and so many of them end up being this more like cherry pink stain, but this one is a true red, and I really love that. So I love these glosses, but they're not going to be everybody's favorite, and I will tell you why both of those statements are true in just a second. This gloss is a home run for me because it's right at the intersection between a gloss that looks very shiny and wet and a gloss that is comfortable. Even most other lip oils that I've tried get a little thick feeling on the lips. Usually if I'm wearing something that almost has its own humectant quality to it, I just feel like I'm drooling. They're super comfortable, they're not sticky at all, and they're moisturizing. The formula has hyaluronic acid, evening primrose oil, and peptides in it. And I find that combination just gives the lips such a smooth, flattering, juicy, full finish without having to use like a peppermint oil or some other irritant in order to plump the lips and make them look fuller. Also smells like tangerine juice, which I find to be delightful. I'm not always this person, but can we talk about the packaging for a second? These are just so up my alley design-wise. After having tried hundreds of different glosses, something like that, the design of the packaging, will be something that is the difference between me buying another one of these or trying something new. You're probably wondering like, okay, why aren't these for everybody then if you love them so much? There is one formula flaw, and it's that these just don't last that long on the lips. It's not that big of a deal to me because I love reapplying these, what with the scent and the packaging and everything, the whole experience of it. It's weird because these glosses are low maintenance in the fact that they're just super easy to throw on without a mirror, but they're almost high maintenance in the fact that you're going to be doing that rather often. My other lip product is the Jammy Lips Lacquer Lip Tint from INC.Redible in the shade Fruity Feels. This has kind of been a sleeper hit for me. I have a lip liner from Makeup Forever that I'm trying to finish up here called Wherever Walnut, and this shade Fruity Feels just goes perfectly on top of it. So I've kind of been just keeping them together on my desk and applying them at the same time. So the texture of this one is quite a bit different from the Kosas lip oils. It's almost thick. It's got like a bit of grip to it. It's marketed as more of this tinted lip balm type of product, but I find it to be more like those lip gloss sticks. It's got almost this gel-like consistency to it, and it wears easily through the first 5 hours of one of my shifts, even with me flapping my mouth constantly. It's also pretty pigmented, but not in an intimidating way, if you catch my drift. Like, you don't have to sit there and layer it on to get any color payoff. It's also not like if you don't nail the crispest application on first try, you're screwed kind of thing. I have one skincare product to talk about and one body care product. The skincare product is the Youth to the People Superberry Hydrate and Glow Dream Mask. where the hell have I been? This stuff is awesome. I don't know if I would say it's like completely groundbreaking in the realm of hydrating sleep masks, but it's still a really, really good choice. It has maki berry, which coincidentally is the same antioxidant berry that they use in the Bite Beauty Changemaker range. So yeah, super high in antioxidants. And then there's a good punch of vitamin C in here as well, but it doesn't break me out like a lot of vitamin C's do. And they finish it off with some squalane and hyaluronic acid, and my skin just loves squalane. Anything with squalane in it. Like Biossance's range is, if I could only have one, oh, that's a tough question. If I could only have two skincare lines in my arsenal, I would pick Biossance and Sephora collection. This Youth to the People mask. It has sort of a whipped custardy texture and color, and it faintly smells kind of fruity, like very, very faint. I'd say I use this about 2 or 3 times a week. When I wake up the next morning, my skin is just so plump and hydrated and soft, and visibly less red too, which is awesome. That's more than I could ever ask for. So yeah, I've been loving that. I just think the new Drunk Elephant Sweet Pitti Deodorant Cream is really innovative with the approach that they've taken. I will admit, I've only tried a few natural deodorants. The one by Pharmacy sent me to the clinic. The Tarte one smelled like a funeral home. And the Kapari one worked okay, but it just stayed kind of gooey. But this one from Drunk Elephant is really nice. I'm still toying with it a bit and working out the kinks of what it can and can't do and stand up against and everything like that. But for just staying home, working from home, doing the occasional workout, it is a treat. I really like the scent. It's technically unscented, but it does smell like the sweet almond oil that is present in the formula. It goes away after about 30 seconds, but it makes it pleasant while I'm applying it. I actually apply this with my fingers, which I've never done with a deodorant before. I just swipe up a bit off of the top with my finger and massage it in, and it dries super quick. It just feels like you put a moisturizer on. My hands don't feel chalky or anything afterwards. It doesn't leave any stain on my clothing. How this works. The formula actually contains mandelic acid, which is going to eat up the bacteria under your arms before it breaks and causes that BO smell. It also helps to gently exfoliate the underarm area, which gives you a more even skin tone there. Okay, let's be clear. Having no underarm darkness is another unrealistic standard for women. Let's not get it twisted. As somebody who's actually prone to a lot of like ingrown hairs and a couple skin tags here and there, this is only going to help me avoid that. So it's good in my book. The only thing I don't like about this is that it's not a second day deodorant. I can only put this on right after I've showered and dried myself off. It makes sense with the technology that they're using, but I'm not somebody who can get in the shower every single day. I used to be, but my skin just can't handle it. Okay, so I've only got 2 products left to mention. They're both hair products. And the first is this Spiritualized Dry Shampoo Mist from R+CO. In my town, the only place you can get R+CO is at my locally run salon that I go to. It's called Collective House. If you are in the Northern Ontario area, they are amazing people, easily my favorite local business in this whole city. Had to close temporarily because of the pandemic, and they were asking their regulars if anybody needed to stock up on some product. So I looked at the R+CO website to see if there was anything I wanted, and this caught my eye. Non-aerosol spritzer type bottle with a mist that doesn't feel powdery like at all. So you spray it on, you let it sit for about 30 seconds, and then you just kind of tousle it in. It doesn't really give your hair much grit. It's not one of those texturizer dry shampoos, but it does make it feel clean and then just lay back how it normally would. So I've used this quite a bit, and it looks like I've used barely any. The very last product I want to talk about is from a brand that I was doing some research on a little bit ago called Together Beauty. They're a newer brand at Sephora. They're clean at Sephora, paraben-free, sulfate-free. They're cruelty-free and vegan as well. They do seem to bank a lot on essential oils for their naturally derived fragrance, so I would just keep that in mind if you are sensitive to that type of fragrance. But I was interested in trying the brand out, and their wherever leave-in conditioner was offered as a 100-point perk on the Sephora website, so I grabbed it. To make a long story very, very short, I haven't been able to use conditioner in a few months because we had an issue with our plumbing. I could only take showers that were about 5 minutes long, but my hair still felt really dry and stuck together after just shampoo, which is where this came in. I just spritz 2 or 3 times into my towel dried hair and then detangle it with my fingers. This stuff has baobab proteins in it to strengthen the hair and mongongo oil to condition it. It doesn't make my hair look greasy like some other detangling products that I've tried. It smells really nice, honestly. It's like this light lavender, coconut, vanilla fragrance. Kind of smells like hotel body wash, which sounds stupid, but I love it. The scent only lingers for about 10 minutes on me. I really like how effectively it detangles and softens my hair, and I'm excited to try more from this brand. Okay, we're done. Thank you for tuning into my first video. I hope we see each other again soon.